views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we'll learn about the man who started Montefiore Einstein Center for Cancer Care's breast and cervical screenings over 20 years ago. And then choreographer and curator of Wise Fruit, Brinda Guha, is back to tell us all about her new event. And after that, we'll find out about a benefit jazz concert and awards event presented by Bronx Community Health Network. And next, we'll find out how the Real Sisters of Diaspora Film Festival is celebrating their 20th anniversary. And later on in the show, Bobby C brings us up to date with the latest headlines in the world of sports. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight features 4 freestyling dances giving us a taste of the upcoming Wise Fruit 3.0 rooftop mixer. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. That's right. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there surfing, don't forget, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Snapchat, Insta Stories, LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. I gotta make sure I get them all in there. So 20 years ago, former oncologist at Montefiore Einstein Center for Cancer Care began to hold breast and cervical cancer screenings for the Bronx community. And on Saturday, October 7th, marks the 10th anniversary of the event in his name. And joining us now to tell us more, we welcome medical oncologist at Montefiore Einstein Center for Cancer Care, Dr. Jesus Anamba Mesias. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for being here.
No, it's a pleasure.
And
Thanks
thank you for the work that you do for us women, right? Let's talk a little bit about this screening and just, I guess, what inspired this particular doctor to create it.
So, well, as you know, Montefiore serves the population with the Bronx, and unfortunately, not everybody has access to screening. You know, as you know, cancer is a very common disease here in America. Breast cancer is actually the most common malignancy among women. About 250,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer every year. 40,000 would die. So it's very common, and you know we need to detect it early. So that's why we started this program.
Okay, so this was Dr. Edward E. Greenwald that started this particular screening, right? And so just in general, just because you're an oncologist, I think I can ask you this question. Why do you think that cancer has become so much more common in our society?
Well, a few things happen. People are living longer, you know, and age by itself is a risk factor for cancer. Second thing, I mean, all the chemicals, you know, nutrition, diet, all these things have changed, you know, healthy habits that we used to have before. So, and that's also, you know, accounting, you know, also the global warming is accounting for skin cancer. So there's multiple factors accounting for the increased rate of cancer. And also, now we have tools to detect cancer. In the past, people would die at age 60 or 50 and they didn't know if they had cancer because we didn't have the tools. Now we have the tools. So it's a few things that, you know, account for this reason.
So as a woman, how often do you recommend women screen themselves for cancer?
So since cancer is very common now, at age 40, the women should discuss with their primary care about screening with mammograms every year. Women from 45 to 55 should have a mammogram at least once a year. And depending on any findings there, after 55, women should continue screening as long as they have a healthy and life expectancy more than 10 years.
So in the screening that you're going to be offering, is this a free service?
Correct. That's the beauty of this. So this is for people even without insurance, they are more than welcome to come, and we'll provide them with breast cancer mammograms and also with pap smears, with both.
Right. So it's through pap smears that cervical can be caught.
Correct.
Right. So just because I'm just really, for lack of a better word, fascinated with the fact that cancer is just it's like a dominant disease within our society, and it just like sprung in like a matter of years. And I'm just wondering, these are just my theories. It's like, does microwaving food play a factor?
More than microwave food, the food that we eat, like canned food with a lot of, condiments, a lot of chemicals, canned food, those are dangerous for people.
Okay, so when you say chemical foods, are you referring to not purchasing foods that are organic?
Correct, like canned food, for instance. Canned food has a lot of salt, a lot of chemicals inside. Instead of having real fruit, real vegetables, they're healthy. They don't have these chemicals that can increase cancer.
So is cancer also something that is genetic?
Correct.
It is.
Not all the cancers, but a few amount. For instance, in breast cancer, about 5 to 10% of cancer are genetic. So they're running families, but still 90% are sporadic, meaning come out of the blue.
So let's talk about the machinery and the technology that Montefiore has to do these mammograms, because I know that there's different versions. I'm one of those women that does check myself regularly, and where I go, they have like these 3D scanning. I mean, it's the most uncomfortable thing in the world, but the point is that they can really look inside and see everything that's in there through images.
That's a great question. So the 3D scanning or 3D tomosynthesis mammogram actually is something that is now moving up forward, because it gives you a three-dimensional view of the breast. So you can see not only, a panel of 2 dimensions, but 3 dimensions, and that can help you to make a decision about going for more scanning, an MRI, or even a biopsy. So even though it's not standard of care, we do have that, and it's moving forward. So in the next couple of years, we expect that these 3D mammograms should actually become standard of care.
So what percentage of women of color are diagnosed with cancer?
So out of 100% of women, I would say half of them are either Caucasian, and then the other half are either Black or Latino.
So it's half and half.
Kind of, yes.
Right.
It depends on where you ask. In the Bronx, we have a lot of, African American, Hispanic communities. So we have a higher incidence in those. If you go to our areas where they have less people, then they will have small amounts of those.
Well, I'm really glad you're here sharing this with us, and I would like to encourage anyone who's watching this to not be afraid and take advantage of this opportunity of free screening. And if you could just share all the details that are going to happen on October 7th, that would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. So the Montefiore Einstein Cancer Center event will happen at 1695 Eastchester Road, and it's from 9 o'clock. Everybody's welcome, regardless of the insurance. Just bring an ID, and you will get mammogram or your pap smear. You will be seen by medical oncologists, gynecologists, oncologists. There's a big team there that will see you as well. And you just need a formal ID or a telephone so we can contact you if we have any abnormal findings.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thanks for the
Anampa.
invitation.
Is it Dr. Anampa or Dr. Messias?
Anampa.
Anampa, so it's Dr. Anampa. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing this information with our viewers. And you guys, listen, it is so important to get yourself checked out. So if you want to partake in either breast or cervical cancer screening free of charge, make sure you stop by on Saturday, October 7th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's happening at Montefiore Einstein campus, which is located on 1695 Eastchester Road in the Bronx. And for more information, you can visit montefiore.org/cancer. Okay, we're taking a quick break, but coming up, we'll learn about an event giving back to women everywhere. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, always inviting you to get social with us. That's right. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me too at Rhina Valentin. So, Wise Fruit. Yeah, it sounds delicious, right? But it's actually an event started by choreographer Brinda Guha as an artistic showcase dedicated to the feminine divine. Yes, and the evening is full of artistic talent featuring dancers and spoken word artists, and all proceeds go to helping Planned Parenthood. Joining us now to share more about Wise Fruit 3.0, we welcome the events coordinator, Brinda Guha. Welcome back.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you here, and we love all the work that you're doing with House of Duendes, with Wise Fruits, and just also the empowering of women and the diversity and the multiculturalism, expressing yourselves through movement. I mean, we could just go on and on. I'll just give a commercial, but the fact that you're contributing to Planned Parenthood is really important as well.
Thank you so much. I
let's
really
talk
appreciate
about
that.
Wise Fruit 3.0.
All right,
Let's start with Wise 3.0.
Wise 3.0, right?
Yeah.
So we started Wise Fruit movement, and by we I mean me, started Wise Fruit movement in March, and we did 1.0 in March and then 2.0 in July when I was last here. And now 3.0 is different. It's going to be, you know, Fly Girls theme from In Living Color, early 90s, kind of fresh. We're calling it Fly Into Fall. And this is going to be kind of a new take on the event, in the sense the event still is a benefit for Planned Parenthood, and it's still a dedication to the feminine divine, but we're trying to find some energy behind the conversation that we're having. So truthfully, it's very much going to be about people the minute they walk through the door, they get offered some fresh fruit, they get offered a drink, and the conversation starts right away. A lot more immersive qualities, a lot more one-on-ones with the audience. Our host, Lauren Cox, the beautiful Lauren Cox, she is really going to be hands-on about engaging the audience this time. And so I think now more than ever, we need to have some tangible activism, we need to have some relatable conversation, and we need to have it right away. And so we can't waste any more time. So I think the spirit of the night is going to be about that as well.
And it's on a rooftop too, right?
It's on a rooftop. It's at Hudson Terrace on 46th Street.
And we're in the autumn season.
Yes, sweater
Lovely.
weather. It's going to be good. It's going to be nice.
Sunsets in the autumn are the best.
Yes.
So I can only imagine the visuals on top of everything else. But let's talk about like walking into the event, right? Because you said you get handed a fruit. And so do people get to pick their fruit? And does the fruit have a relation to a topic? Like what are we talking here?
I mean, for sure. To answer your question, everyone's going to get kind of a mixed little bowl of fruit. And it's going to be right away. The minute you walk out of the elevator and you've arrived at this beautiful rooftop in Midtown Manhattan, you get some fresh fruit and you get a program and you go, welcome to the conversation. How are we going to help women? And that's right away what we're going to say. And in terms of fruit and the visual and the symbol of fruit, it's a very feminine thing. You know, you plant seeds, and the whole show is about planting seeds of activism and putting that into normal people's lives. And so fruit was a very beautiful, fresh, colorful way of really honoring women and female energy.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I love all the metaphors.
Yeah,
here.
there's a lot of
seeds,
metaphor.
Pregnancy, right? There's the
all
seed,
the stuff. Yeah.
And then you're working with Planned Parenthood, and then the blossoming and the colors, the different flavors of fruits, and
women come in all different shapes and sizes and colors and have great energy and have great things to contribute. And at a time now where women's like health and rights and voices are being threatened, it's really important that that the arts community actually does something about it. The arts community tends to be pretty private, you know, in the sense that we perform for other artists, and we think that only other artists will understand. And so it's my hope that we can bridge that gap between everybody.
It seems to be your
arts.
mission. It seems to be your mission, and I, quite frankly, I follow you on Instagram. You're doing a really good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I
really
good job.
Really appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you.
you are. And so this whole concept, it's intriguing, because there's also the relation to health as well, right? Because it's fruits, and fruits are pretty much the original fast food, is what I call it.
Yeah,
and,
it really is.
With the way Mother Nature's been acting lately, it's looking like we need to take a deeper level of appreciation for what we are given naturally.
Yes. Yes. I think going back to the roots is always going to be my saving grace. For me, it's always going back to the roots. This year was a lot of changes for me. And you know, all you have is your experience, right? And so why not celebrate your experience and use that to push you on a platform forward, as opposed to, see, reinventing is great, but reinventing is great, not inventing all over again and discarding what you had, you know? And so Wise Fruit is a platform to use what we have, these voices, these experiences, these energies of these women, and coming into the space, and very open to men too. We have so many male choreographers this time as well, really honoring women, and so it's a very open conversation, and I'm super pumped.
Right, and that's the other thing I love about your work, is that you also incorporate folkloric, right? So it's the past meets the present, meets fusion, which once again, there's a fruit salad.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna keep putting it.
No, you have to, you have to, and then a rooftop, so it's like the rum that you add to the fruit salad.
There you go.
It's perfect. Yeah.
So,
and I'm super excited for this
fruit punch.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe I'll spike all the fruit. Perfect. Okay, sounds good. Now we have a plan. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you all the credit for that in the program.
Well, we've got it recorded.
Yeah, there you go. So now everyone knows.
All right. So before we go, let's just share with everyone when they can go.
Yes.
When it's taking place, and what time, and what's I guess, you know, what the contributions are.
Yeah. So since the last Wise Fruit, we are officially partnered with Wise Fruit. That means that Planned Parenthood and Wise Fruit NYC is officially partnered, which means you can donate to Planned Parenthood on behalf of the Wise Fruit movement, and there's a website for that, and everything's all set up. And so now, and Planned Parenthood will be at this event. This event will be at Hudson Terrace on Monday, October 16th. Doors open at 7:30. The show starts at 8 o'clock. There are going to be 13 freestylers, 4 of which you'll see today, 10 headlining acts. Incredible talent. I'm so grateful that these people are joining us. Again, it's at Hudson Terrace on Monday, October 16th, and that happens to be my birthday as well. So that'll be really fun.
Awesome. So it's a celebration for you too,
Yay,
Brinda.
Yes.
Brinda, you're doing wonderful work.
Thanks,
and it's
Rhina.
a lovely
Thanks
way
for
to
having
celebrate
me.
your birthday, honoring other women. Mwah.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
You guys, make it to Wise Fruit 3.0. That's once again taking place on Monday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m., right? At 7:30, happening at Hudson Terrace, which is located on West 46th Street in Manhattan. It's one of those things you have to go and experience. So only $15, right? That's what she said. And wisefruitnyc.com is the website. You can go find out more. wisefruitnyc.com. All right, there you have it. Be sure to stick around because, well, later in the show for our Open Artist Spotlight, we'll feature some of the talented dancers who will be performing at the Wise Fruit 3.0 events, okay? So we do have to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll learn about an afternoon full of jazz for a good cause, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Open, everyone. You know, we're always inviting you to stay connected with us. That's right. Like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And so on Sunday, October 8th, Bronx Community Health Network will be hosting a benefit jazz concert to expand their community health and wellness programs. Event attendees will be treated to a performance by internationally acclaimed New York-based jazz artist Kevin Harris with the Kevin Harris Project. And joining us to tell us more, we welcome community engagement and policy analyst from Bronx Reach Champs, Paulette Spencer. Hi, and
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here with us, and thank you for being a part of the Bronx Community Health Network, because that is a really huge network that is pretty much involved with various organizations in various locations. So let's just give a little insight about how involved the BCHN network is.
Well, the Bronx Community Health Network came into existence in 1996 as a 501c3. So we're a non-for-profit organization. And we are also a federally qualified health center, which means that we provide medical services, primarily preventive medical services, to Bronx residents or anyone really, regardless of their ability to pay, which includes regardless of their insurance status or their immigration status.
Which means that you're there to serve as almost a guide as well in helping people get in the direction of health and wellness.
Yes, indeed. We have a team of community health workers who provide services such as signing up clients for health insurance. We also provide workshops on chronic disease prevention and management throughout the Bronx at various organizations.
How many locations is BCHN partnered up with within the Bronx?
Well, we have 18 health centers, 6 of which are located on school property.
Which are located on school properties.
Yes.
Right. And so I just want to make sure that they understand the gist of what Bronx Community Health Network serves as here, because it's a service that I think everybody should be aware of. And if you're unaware or unfamiliar with how to obtain health insurance or where to seek help in gaining knowledge, be it through, referencing just learning about diabetes. I'm sharing all of this with you guys because I've been working directly with BCHN, and I just am fascinated with all the work that they're doing to teach people prevention, which is crucial at this stage of our society, of life here in this day and age that we're living in, especially having a segment talking about cancer and how common it is.
And so what we do primarily is we work with Montefiore Medical System and the Cassia Network. And so our presence is pervasive, but sometimes people don't necessarily know we're there. So what we do is that we get federal funding to subsidize medical services that include these services, these primary care services. And that funding also includes our ability to give these workshops through various schools, through our community health workers, through our health educators. And we cover such topics as care and prevention of diabetes, of asthma. We also do a lot of work with prenatal health care, as well as anything that has to do really with parenting through our Health First project. We also have a program called the Bronx Reach Champs.
Right.
And
Is Bronx Reach Champs creating this event that we're having on Sunday? Because I want to make sure we talk about Sunday before we go. And Sunday is more of like a gala style type of event. But is it open to the public?
It's open to the public, and we welcome everyone to come. We are honored to have with us the Kevin Harris Project, who will be performing. And I understand you will be our MC.
Yes, I will be your mistress of ceremonies with honor.
And this is a project that's a program that's put on by our organization. And so we are actually just celebrating the expansion of our health and wellness programming.
So there's an expansion in the works, and they continue to grow, which is a beautiful thing, right?
Yes.
It's a good sign. And there's awards being also granted, right? So who's being awarded and for what services?
So Dr. Bean, who is the medical director and senior vice president for Health First, is receiving an award for her work to establish health community services at various places in New York City.
Beautiful. And then, of course, we're going to jazz it out and dance and do a little scooby-dee-bop-boop-bop,
Yes, we
right,
will.
with the Kevin Harris Project.
Yes, we will.
Are there any last words you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, we hope that you'll come out and support us. This is a very important project for us. This is the first of several events we will be having over the next year. And I should say that this is our 20th year in existence.
Nice, 20th anniversary as well.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Paulette Spencer. Once again, you guys, the benefit jazz concert and awards event hosted by Bronx Community Health Network will be taking place on Sunday, October 8th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Bronx Museum of the Arts, located on 1040 Grand Concourse in the Bronx. Check out the Kevin Harris Project and yours truly emceeing the event. So for more information, you can go to bchnhealth.org, bchnhealth.org. Okay, we're taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll get the details behind Real Sisters Diaspora Film Festival's upcoming events to celebrate their 20th anniversary. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Real Sisters Diaspora Film Festival. Woo-woo. They're showcasing the unique talent. They're already jamming over here. The unique talent and struggle, let's not forget that part, of women of color in the film industry. And well, it also provides them with access to panels and workshops. It's going to provide you guys with access to panels and workshops on topics from screenwriting to producing. And this month, they also are celebrating their 20th anniversary. So joining us now, we have the founder of the Real Sisters of Diaspora Film Festival, Carolyn Butts, along with two filmmakers in this year's festival, Nikkei, Kadri, and producer of By the Tide, Giovanna Aguilar, producer of Dreamtown. Hello and welcome, and I got everybody's name right. I'm like, all right, I did it. Welcome, ladies. We are gonna put the exclamation on this show being all about women empowerment. Hello. Absolutely. Yes, we went from health to art, right? Performance art, and now we're gonna talk film. All right, so we'll start with you, my lady, Carolyn, founder of Real Sisters.
As you know, you're in media. There's not that many opportunities for women of color. So 20 years ago, I founded Real Sisters, and I decided to have a place where we could share our stories, develop an audience, and also network. You know, when people come to our festival, they might find their camera person, they might find their writer here. So Real Sisters is all about empowerment, and it's the first Brooklyn-based film festival devoted to women of color across the globe.
Wow, that's big.
And
That
we,
is really big. Bravo.
yeah. And we
I
get
feel
filmed
bad
in the
for
UK.
men in the audience. Do they know? They're like, support. Oh, yeah, no, they're supporters. They're supporters. That's what we had. No, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm kidding. No, I love this. I love this. I love that you had a vision 20 years ago, and it's expanded into this networking mosh posh of like, hey, come be part of the panels, learn, meet, and just kind of network and continue creating. Now, my question is, are the people or the attendees predominantly women, or are men involved?
We have all audiences. We have men involved too, because sometimes we have films that are co-produced by a male and woman team, but predominantly we're telling the stories of women. We want to hear their voices because, you know, they're not being hired by Hollywood as much as the men. So, you know, that's our focus. And this year, we're going to be at the Magic Johnson Theater.
On 125th Street?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we went from a university to a theater for our 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And Harlem on top of everything else.
So that everyone can come from across the world.
It's a nice central location.
Yeah, then go to the Apollo, go to the restaurants. And we're also still in Brooklyn. We're at the Alamo Draft House, and we wanted to celebrate families. So it's a family day where people could bring their family, come and eat and just enjoy each other and see these wonderful films that are there. So it's just it's a beautiful event.
We're going to get more. Before we go, we'll talk a little bit more about the details of the event itself, but I just want to meet some of the filmmakers because you brought them. And
we're here.
Yeah, we want you to talk.
All right, Nikkei, you're up first. So let's talk a little bit about your film.
I am the writer, executive producer, and lead actor in By the Tide film, and it tackles depression, which is a really hard topic to talk about. 1 in 4 New Yorkers specifically suffer from depression, so I wanted to bring that theme into film world and also have it surround and follow women of color. So I'm in it, and then I have another Latina actress as well. And it just follows not only queer love, but heterosexual love, and how we deal with these topics that are just hard to talk about, I feel like, for people of color.
Isn't your film the one that has a legendary actress in it? No? No, it's not your film. Right.
It's me.
It's you. She's like, it's me. I already predicted it. No, you're actually awarding a few actresses is what I remember, right?
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about that as well. But no, this is really, that's important. That topic itself, is it a short? Is it a feature?
It is a short,
It's
yes.
a short. How many minutes?
It is about 12.
It's about 12 minutes. And is it the hidden aspect of depression, or is it something that's visible?
No, it's very visible, and which is what I wanted to do, to make it something that we can talk about and approach, which is what I think is so important about art for social change, is that we bring in a visual medium that makes it easy for people to relate to and feel that they can approach the topic.
So I love it. I love that you provide this platform, and so I'm going to get back to you again, but I just want to hear a little bit about Giovanna's story.
Sure, great, thank you. Look forward to seeing your film, by the way. So Dreamtown is a story of, I'm one of the producers, and Betty Bastidas is actually the director. She fell in love with the story. We're both from Ecuador, of soccer in Ecuador, being an underdog country worldwide that never went to the World Cup. And then the country did go to the World Cup in 2002 for the first time. And we noticed that most of the team players were Afro-Ecuadorian. So the story started to develop from there, and she follows 3 wonderful personalities of young men who are aspiring either to be to go on the professional track of soccer to get to the World Cup. And one is someone who actually played in the World Cup, one who is, you know, it tells the different layers of the underdog within the underdog story, the country, then the local hero, but really recognizing and identifying with the Afro culture that has not been celebrated, as you know, unfortunately, right, in Latin America.
Yeah.
So
in general,
and so I think it's a wonderful story, and Dreamtown's actually based on the name of the town where a lot of these team players came from, El Valle del Chota, which is an Aryan town about an hour and a half from the capital, from Quito. And it's just so beautiful, and they still have their cultural roots there. They have music that's called bomba, similar to the Puerto Rican bomba, but more with, I guess, an Andean influence now. And
which is like the folkloric,
yeah,
right? which is what we do as people of color. We celebrate our ancestry.
Right.
Right, and it's nice to have platforms such as yours to bring it into the forefront for people to view and learn themselves. So how many films are being screened?
We have about 33 films that will be screened over 2 days.
Over 2 days, okay. So what does the festival look like? Like, what time does it start? What time does it end? Is there a short segment? Is there?
No, we kind of mix things together. I mean, there are a few segments that are like 3 shorts, and then there might be a feature length. But you could come at 1 o'clock and stay till about 9:30 at the Magic Johnson's Theater and just have a feast.
All right. Well, I like feasts. Thank you so much for being with us, ladies.
Thank you.
If I have the information, but if you want to share anything before we go regarding the screenings.
Yeah, I mean, people could just go to realsisters.org, October 21st, 22nd, and they get all the information, the schedule, the films.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for honoring basically your stories and making sure that they're documented so that people can view them and learn from them.
Amen.
All right?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. No, don't go anywhere. She's ready to go. I'm lying. No, you guys, for more information.
Thank you.
For more information on all the events happening at the Real Sisters of Diaspora Film Festival, you can visit realsisters2.wordpress.com. That's realsisters2, the number 2.wordpress.com, right?
It's realsisters.org.
It's realsisters.org. Yeah. Okay, so just go to realsisters.org and you'll have all of the information there. Okay, we have to take a quick break, but stay tuned because Bobby C's a weekly sports roundup is coming up next.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is Bobby C, and I can't think of a better way to start a look at sports this week than popping some bubbly with the Bronx Bombers.
It might have been the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of here, and our fans were just electric all night. I think our team's built for this ballpark, but I also think that our fans, make a big difference. They get behind us and they give us something to play for, and we enjoy going out there and playing for them every night. So I thought tonight was a great night.
We knew it was going to be rocking. The fans are great. They love it. We loved it. We had a blast. So we're excited to keep it going. And I mean, just what a night, what a game.
Yeah, just a lot of emotion. Guys were excited, getting a chance to add 2 more runs and kind of open up our lead again. And man.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
You deserved that one. You're working so hard.
All the fun that's been had in the dugout recently and just the love that you guys seem to have. How much of a factor do you think that has been in this postseason run?
It's been huge for us. We never take anything for granted. We just competing. I think we're having fun, man. We come in here every day to do our job, to play hard, and they're having fun. And that's happening the right way. I think we do the right way. I think we continue to do what we do, and we want to be good.
And we play hard the whole season. Nobody expected us to be here, but all we can do is focus what we can control and then just go from there. So it's really nice, everybody that came up big since the first inning and on, that's what you want from all your players. And it's been amazing so far. So now we get to Cleveland. Now things just about to start.
Tuesday night was a thing of beauty here in the Bronx. Unfortunately for Yankee fans and the Bombers themselves, Thursday night in Cleveland was the exact opposite. Aaron Judge went from homering in his postseason debut against the Twins to striking out 4 times against the Indians and Game 1 starter Trevor Bauer. In the process, Judge became the 4th Yankee to post that line in a playoff game, something albeit that Johnny Damon and Mickey Mantle also did. Bauer chopped New York's big bats down a size, and former Met Jay Bruce drove in 3 runs as the reigning American League champions began chasing their first World Series title in 69 years with a 4-0 win over the Yankees last night. Cleveland has some amazing karma going on at the moment. The Indians lead the series because of one man's faith and another paying dividends beyond what either might have imagined. Cleveland manager Terry Francona opted to pitch Bauer instead of Cy Young candidate Corey Kluber in Game 1. Kluber will go tonight in Game 2 and would be available to pitch the decisive Game 5 if it gets that far. Francona has a .629 winning percentage, 39-23 in the postseason, the second best in history behind Yankee great Joe McCarthy. Former Yankee star Alex Rodriguez, now on the broadcast side of things, has taken the Pinstripers in 5 games. That was before last night's defeat in the broadcast. Former Red Sox star David Ortiz fired back at A-Rod and said it's because he's still on the Yankee payroll. Pretty good stuff. All signs point to the Indians this fall classic, but I still believe the Yankees can find some magic of their own. It won't be easy, but I do believe they can do it. I'll take the Yanks in 4. Indians haven't won anything in 69 years. New York will turn to former ACC Sabathia tonight using a cutter taught to him by Andy Pettit. Sabathia is 9-0 after a Yankees loss this season. They're hoping he can make it a perfect 10 in Game 2. Houston also hit the ground running in its postseason opener Thursday night. The Astros, the other favorites in the American League, toppled the Red Sox 8-2 behind 3 home runs from MVP candidate Jose Altuve. The series continues today. The reigning World Series champs, the Chicago Cubs, begin their series with Washington tonight, and the Arizona Diamondbacks will open their National League Division Series with the LA Dodgers tonight. The D-backs down the Colorado Rockies in the wild card game to reach the division series. On the gridiron, Gang Green is on a mini win streak. Make it 2 in a row. We go inside the locker room for more. After starting the season 0-2, the New York Jets returned to MetLife Stadium last week and used the national anthem protest to get fired up for the game, winning their first game of the season. This week, it was the legends in the building and the celebration for Kevin Mawai that sparked Gang Green.
Definitely has to be a much better feeling after the first couple of weeks. You guys, things weren't necessarily going your way, and now it seems like that whole momentum and vibe has really changed here in the locker room.
We're just trying to go out and execute the game plan. The coaches put in a good game plan, and we try to execute. And we were able to do that today, and we got to keep doing that.
Man, it feels real good, man. What you saw there was a complete team effort, man. And, we've been talking about all week just putting it together, man. Finally putting it together, and everybody playing as one, and you saw the results of it today.
Before the season even started, they had us going 0-15, 0-16, whatever it was, but we can't listen to the outsiders. Only thing we can do is focus on the guys in the locker room, the coaching staff, and do what we do.
It's fun. Everybody comes together. Everybody's pumping each other up, and when you start to see a different unit have another unit's back, defense having offense's back, offense having defense for special teams. I think that's what breeds the trust that you need to lay a great foundation to be able to sustain. And so look back at Oakland. That's probably where it started and showed up today.
The Jets upended Jacksonville 23-20, fueled by the legends in the building as the organization added all-time great Kevin Mawai to their Ring of Honor. Here's more on Kevin Mawai. In the National Football League, the center position will never get as much love as the quarterback, the running back, or the wide receiver. But when you played it as great as New York Jets legend Kevin Mawai, you deserve your own day. Here's more with Kevin Mawai, the newest member of the Jets Ring of Honor.
Today, it's sincerely from my heart. I want to thank you for being very successful for me to play in Maryland. I'm a New York Jet. I will be green flag the rest of my days.
Kevin's an unbelievable person, and he's a heck of a player. And so to have those guys, to have those guys in the building and understanding the legacy and what they stood for and how they approached the game and how a guy like Kevin went about it. There's a ton of juice you draw from that.
I saw him before the game, and obviously, I had a great experience with him. It's an honor that's well deserved, and I know that the next honor for him is also well deserved, and being in the Hall of Fame.
One of the reasons that he's here is because Parcells believed we needed a guy to block 2 guys in our division. One played in Buffalo, and one played in Miami. Kevin did a great job in blocking both of them, and that's why he's in the Ring of Honor today.
And Kevin was that guy who knew everything, who knew where everyone was supposed to be, and he's the only reason, I guarantee you, the only reason that I ended up in the Hall of Fame.
So if you're keeping score at home, I have picked the Jets perfect this year. I'm 4-0 on their 2-0, well, excuse me, 2-2 record. Who would have thunk it? The Jets are in Cleveland this Sunday for a 1 p.m. kickoff. I believe they can beat the Browns. I'll take gangrene to make it 3 straight. As for the New York Giants, I have not made one right prediction for Big Blue this season. I am 0-4, as is the lowly G-Men. They lost another heartbreaker last week in Tampa Bay. A last-second field goal by former Jet Nick Folk sunk the Giants 25-23. They return to MetLife Stadium this Sunday for a 1 p.m. showdown with another winless team in the L.A. Chargers. Quarterbacks Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning both bring triple-digit consecutive start streaks into Sunday's tilt, signs of a craft well honed, but the two are hoping to build something else, a win streak. That, of course, starts with 1 win. I'll pick against the Giants this weekend. Maybe that will do the trick. Thumbs down to them. Odell Beckham Jr. said Tampa Bay knew the Giants' plays. The Giants say they've been trying to diversify their offense, but the results haven't been overly encouraging. If they lose this week, I think Ben McAdoo will be fired. GM Jerry Reese may not be far behind. Thursday Night Football showcased the reigning Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. The Pats have looked far from super to start their title repeat. Tom Brady threw for 303 yards and 1 touchdown, and New England's porous defense showed some signs of improvement, though, in a 19-14 victory over the Bucs. The Pats are 3-2, a mark the Jets can match on Sunday. On the ice, the Colorado Avalanche got the new season off to a winning start and spoiled Kevin Shattenkirk's first game with his hometown team, the New York Rangers. Colorado scored the tie-breaking goal late in the second period, and the Avalanche beat the Broadway Blue Shirts 4-2 in the team's opener Thursday night. The Rangers are in Toronto Saturday. On the basketball hardwood, the Brooklyn Nets topped the New York Knicks 115-107 in preseason action Tuesday night. They also defeated Miami 107-88 last night. The Knicks are in Washington tonight for their second preseason contest. The Minnesota Lynx are WNBA champions once again. Minnesota won its 4th title in franchise history Wednesday with an 85-76 victory over the Los Angeles Sparks in the decisive Game 5 of the WNBA Finals at Williams Arena at the University of Minnesota. The win continued the Lynx pattern of championships every other year as they prevailed in 2011, 2013, and 2015 as well. Maya Moore scored 18 points and grabbed 10 boards. She's the WNBA's version of Kobe Bryant. Rings, rings, rings. From the MLS, New York City FC is on the road to face the New England Revolution on Sunday. That game gets underway at 5 p.m. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for some funny commentary from comedian Larry David. Headlines this week included some sexist commentary from Carolina Panthers QB Cam Newton when he suggested a question from a female reporter asking about routes was funny. Newton has since had his yogurt ads from Dannon pulled and needed to make an apology. Of course, those comments were not funny, but Larry David's take on the Jets most definitely were. David is pretty upset by the Jets' winning streak. The Brooklyn-born comedian calls himself a Jets fan, but he apparently wants them to tank for a top quarterback in next year's draft. He shared his feelings during a phone interview on the Dan Patrick Show that also featured the legendary Al Michaels. It went like this. Al Michaels saying, "Your Jets are doing great." David, "Oh God, please, what's wrong with them?" Patrick, "Wait, no, you've won 2 games." David, "No, I don't want to win any games. I'm sick about this." Looking ahead to the 2018 draft, Patrick asked David if he prefers UCLA's Josh Rosen or USC's Sam Darnold. After a pause, David replied, "I got to go with the Jew." David, of course, is Jewish. He's making the media routes to promote the relaunch of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Jet fans, I would still curb your enthusiasm if you win on Sunday in Cleveland, but at least the team is showing some signs of life and fight, something the organization can build from next year regardless of draft position. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. It's now time for this week's Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Today's spotlight shines on 4 dancers who will be performing at Wise Fruit 3.0, an event that showcases talented artists. And once again, all proceeds go to supporting Planned Parenthood. Please welcome to the Open Artist stage, Quinn Maria, Lori, and Candace.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. When I was a child, I asked myself, I asked God, why was I born during this time? This time right before the internet rose to power and after the civil rights movement was strategically dismantled. Why wasn't I born to see the summer of love or to occupy Alcatraz in the name of all American Indians? Why wasn't I pumping my fist at the front lines of the Black Panther movement? Maybe I could have been next to Assata Shakur in jail, or even earlier been collecting signatures against slavery and voting discrimination with Susan B. Anthony. Or even earlier than that, I could have been cast aside as a sexual deviant by the European monarchy like Marie Antoinette. Why instead do I find myself shaking my ass to a rapper that claims to be a man but calls himself juvenile? Girl, you look good, won't you? Back yo up. Hello. Why was I born in this time, God? And I know God is a loaded term, so whatever you want to call how life and death works, God, Allah, Elohim, Jehovah, Deus, Krishna, Panchamama, the universe, energy, ether, or chance. I'm still with you, and we are still in this together. Hello. And I have since realized my naivety. I've realized that these women throughout history, these movements that they inspired are not separate from us. We are a culmination of their perseverance. We are able to speak up about the atrocities of this world because of them. The rich corporations fueled by greed, the colonization, deportation, exploitation, and just plain genocide of the poorer classes, the black and brown races, the land, Mother Earth. Hello. Women, if the soul of the nation is to be saved, I believe that you must become its soul. Coretta Scott King. I declare to you that women must not depend upon the protection of man, but must be taught to protect herself. And there I take my stand. Susan B. Anthony. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. Maya Angelou. If one man can destroy everything, why can't one girl change it? Malala. And that one girl, Harriet Tubman, said, there was one of 2 things I had a right to, liberty or death. If I could not have one, I would have the other. And Brinda Guha said, you are the one fruit in the basket that has the most knowledge. And I agree, don't you? We are all one fruit in a basket that has her own knowledge. For we are all an expert at something. We all hold our power delicately from within. You are all wise fruit in your own right, women. Now plant the seed in the soil that supports us all. When I say wise fruit, you say plant the seed, wise fruit, wise fruit, wise fruit. Plant the seed, plant the seed, plant the seed, wise fruit. Hello.
Oh. Oh my goodness, I don't know whether to applaud. Bravo, ladies. Bravo, thank you. Thank you. So here's the microphone. Introduce yourself really quickly.
Hi, my name is Quinn Carpenter.
Hi, I'm Candace Tabbs.
Hi, I'm Lorena Cobos.
Hi, I'm Maria Chernisky.
And you ladies are the freestyle dancers that Brinda was referring to.
Yes.
That was so stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Okay, so who came up with the narrative? Lauren Cox.
Yeah.
And who came up with the choreography?
We self-choreographed,
Right.
and Brinda also gave us direction for coming together and bringing the through line through the piece.
Nice. So what do you hope people leave with?
I hope that they leave inspired and just excited about how they can make a change in the world.
And you?
Yes, I hope their minds are opened even wider and they have this vast realization that art is activism. We can all do it. You don't have to be an artist. We can all work together.
I love that. And you?
And leaving with the sense of community, knowing that we don't have to think about this and fester with it by ourselves, but we have people who can share with us.
Really quickly, because we gotta go.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people put their thoughts on social media in a negative way, and I think dance is just a really cool way to break that up and still get the message across.
Absolutely, because we're planting seeds for Wise Fruits. Woo! Go Brinda! Once again, you guys remember Wise Fruit 3.0 is happening on Monday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m. at Hudson Terrace in Manhattan. And for more information, visit wisefruitnyc.com. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all of our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recable cast tonight and 24 hours a day at bronxnet.tv. And I'm Rhina Valentin. And from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Keep hope alive, mi gente. Please donate to your relief funds, and adios.